Hello, hello. Welcome to another live session here at Northeastern. My name's Evan, and we'll go through beautiful flow today. So wherever you're at, get your yoga mat ready and find a nice, comfortable seat. We'll start to ground in here first. You can have legs crossed. No particular posture is important. Just allow yourself to center in and focus on the breath. Drop any expectations or worries, any stress or strain. Allow everything to just melt away. Take some slow, gentle breaths. Connect to the feeling of the earth beneath you, your mat, the air as it flows into your body and fills you up, just as it leaves and feeling light or empty. Take a special kind of breath called the physiological sigh. And all that is really it's a prolonged inhale to fill up the whole body through the nose. And once you feel like you can't breathe in anymore, breathe in a little bit more sharp inhale through the nose and then a long exhale out the mouth. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate it first, and then we can go through it together. So breathing in, and then that sharp inhale, and then a slow sigh out. We'll go through that 3 times together. So go ahead, begin breathing in through the nose. Again, and out. 2 more times like that. Just follow along. Last time. Return to normal breathing. This type of breath allows you to reset the alveoli in your lungs, give you better oxygenation and respiration overall. Now that our chest and lungs are open, we'll begin this session today with one Om. So bring hands together at heart center if you'd like to join. Exhale first, and then inhale for sound. We'll move over to the mat and we'll begin. So staying seated to start, legs can come out in front. And I just want to invite some shaking into the legs, maybe some pointing and flexing with the toes, and then shaking a bit. We'll keep the chest lifted, the arms by the side, hands planted. Every once in a while, squeeze the toes, point and flex, and then continue to shake. Squeeze, point, and flex. Last time, squeeze, point, and flex. And then try to open the toes, the feet, as much as you can. Really open. Try to spread the toes all the way out. Good. Maybe roll the ankles a bit here, clockwise, counterclockwise. Again, keep the chest lifted as you move through. And then we'll start to bring right knee up towards chest and then catch underneath the thigh and do some leg extensions just to open the hamstring initially here. So straightening, lifting, allowing it to drop down. Keep the foot flexed as you move through. And the next time you inhale to bring the leg up, just hold it, point the toes, Walk the hands up and try to catch maybe the foot or the ankle or just the calf, and slowly bring that leg towards your chest a bit more. Try to keep the leg straight and the back lifted, pointing the toes. Left foot still active here, so flexed in the foot as well. And then slowly allow that leg to lower down, down, down. Straighten it out, shake it out. Same thing to the left side. Hands under the thigh. Inhale to come up, and exhale to come down. Just moving through at your own pace, lifting and lowering. Feeling a waking up in the knees and the thigh. And then keep it lifted. Point the toes, climb up a bit and lift that leg. Try to bring it just a bit closer. Lift your chest. Bring the thigh towards the chin. Few more breaths here. Really feel the front of your ankle if you squeeze and point the toes. Feel an opening on the shin maybe. And again, remember that active flexion of the right foot. Slowly lower the leg down. And then we'll shake both legs out before we move into the next step. So start with some upper body twisting and waking up. So reach the arms high. Just sit in your seat and reach towards the ceiling here first. And then exhale, twist over to your right side. Really open the whole body up. Right hand comes behind you. Left hand can come to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale back up through center and then twisting over to the left. Keep the chest lifted again, both feet still engaged, not falling asleep. Try to point the toes towards the ceiling or towards you as you twist your chest open. Inhale the arms back up through center. And then we'll take a moderate fold. So just place the hands on the shins or maybe even the knees and just shift your weight forward. Don't need to go too far too soon. So just shift your weight. Maybe use your hands to help lead with your chest coming into that fold. Allow your head to slowly fall as well. And then slowly coming back up. Inhale the arms high once more. And bring them all the way behind your back. Clasp them together. Roll the shoulders open and try to lift the chest up. Legs are still in front, and this should take a bit of core engagement kind of the whole time, really active in the core. So lifting the chest high, you can even brace on your knuckles behind you and press the chest forward. Maybe allow the head to tip back. And just breathe. Next inhale, head comes back through center. Sit upright over your hips and release the arms. Even the both feet together in the front, we're going to do what's called churning or rowing the boat first and then churning the mill. So kind of have your hands like you're rowing. You have two oars. We're going to reach forward for the feet. Try to go over if you can, and then come all the way back. Keep the arms straight as you move to the furthest extension you're able with your core, and then coming forward, back again. Up with the arms as you move forward, down over the feet, and then pulling back. Up, inhale, and down and back, exhale. Breathing and rowing here. And again, keeping the arms straight the whole time. Two more like that. Inhale up. And last time, come through neutral. So we'll go into a bit of a churning motion here. So bring your legs just outside your mat, not too far. And imagine you have like a giant stick of, I don't know, a broom or something like that. And you're trying to swirl all the way around your feet. So you're going clockwise at first And again, we'll keep the arms locked the whole time. So going clockwise around, forward, out to the sides, and then back through the center. So going around, forward, back through center. And you're going to inhale as you move through, and exhale to synchronize your movements all the way around. You can clasp hands together if it's helpful, thumbs kind of touching. And then we're going to change direction now. So if you're going to the right, first go towards the left. Whichever way you didn't do, just go the other direction. So you should really start to feel this in your back, your spine, also in your core, that opening and twisting kind of motion, as well as the reclined, leaning back. What we're doing here is building fire, bringing it into the body, kicking up metabolism, working through chakras, allowing any blockages to simply be churned or released. One more here, and then we'll come to stillness in the center. Release the hands down, and then cross the legs and roll over through for tabletop. Take some time here, maybe move intuitively, shift your hips side to side. Lift the belly or chest towards the ceiling, and then exhale and round the spine, arching, pressing it up towards the ceiling. Inhale up, and exhale, coming down. Make an audible sound with your mouth, kind of like the lion's breath. As you arch the back. Inhale back up one more time. And exhale. Shift the hips side to side. And then we'll warm up hands and wrists. So go ahead, plant the left hand firmly into the mat and reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, drive the hand underneath the arm and just hold and hover. Use your triceps to brace. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, twisting and driving through. Inhale, back up. And exhale, right hand coming through for the last time, and slowly place right shoulder down to the mat. The left hand comes forward towards the left, top left corner of the mat. You can start to use that to kind of press yourself into that twist just a bit more. Feel your neck opening as your head rests on the mat. And then maybe you slowly tent your toes on your left foot and start to lift that leg off the ground, holding it, using your right arm for support. Maybe you even open the hips just a bit, careful of your balance. But again, finding stability, finding strength wherever you're at. Slowly bring the knee back down if it's lifted. Return the left hand somewhere by the forehead or the face. Then use your strength in your left arm to push yourself back up. Reach the right hand high for 1 second. And then exhale to drop it down to the mat. Shake it out. And move to the left. Inhale to reach the left arm high. Exhale, drive it down. Slide between, but hold and hover there. Engage your core, your right arm. Inhale to come back up. And exhale, coming down through. Holding once more. Inhale, bringing back up, rising high. Last time, drive the hand down and through all the way. Let the shoulder rest. Right hand moves to right corner. And use a bit more of that hand to open and twist the side body. Right hand bracing the floor. You can start to maybe tent the right leg, getting up on the tippy toes, and then start to lift. Keeping the heel pressing back towards the wall behind you, Using your left arm for support, maybe you open the hips just a bit. Try to find some balance here. And then slowly release the knee down if it was lifted. Bring the right hand towards the forehead and use that to press yourself back up for one more big twist, unwinding other way. Exhale, both hands coming down for the mat. Gaze up towards the ceiling one more time with the chest lifted. Big inhale through the nose and lion's breath out. Lift the knees, hover here, engage the core. Hold and keep the back flat, the hips lifted. Just breathe into your palms, directing energy into your hands, into the floor, feeling strong. And then inhale, hips are going to come up and back. And we'll pedal out our first downward dog of the day. Take whatever time you need to settle in, lifting or moving one foot then the other. Or just align in your own time. Give yourself whatever you need. I like to focus on lifting my toes and spreading them out firmly, then placing pinky and heel down on the mat, and big toe. So I kind of have like a little triangle that guides me in place. Hands firmly pressed into the earth. Elbows rotated so they're kind of trying to point forward towards the front of the room. And then the back, upper back pressed forward, or actually towards the thighs rather. Hips lifted, back flat. And breathe. As you inhale next, gaze up towards your hands and slowly walk, tiptoe your way to the front. Meeting in a half lift. So hands can be up on shins or maybe they're tented on the floor. Wherever you're at, just try to keep your back straight and flat and your head in one line. So kind of aligned with your lower back and upper back, raising the chest. Exhale down to a fold. You can bend the knees as much as you need here to really try to bring your chest onto your thighs. Folding to the thighs, bring the arms behind the calves. And then slowly try to straighten the legs as much as you're able. And you'll notice quite a bit more of a fold here. You can use your arms as leverage in a sense to pull you in deeper. Slowly inhale to lift the chest. And then arch it as you roll all the way back up, releasing the arms down, rolling back. Coming to stand, sweep the arms high above your head. And then exhale, hands together at heart center. Take a moment now that we're standing just to center in. Close the eyes, grounding with the toes. Take a big inhale through the nose. And shoot it out through the mouth. Let the arms fall down by your sides. Inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. And then exhale, step right leg back and drop the knee down to the mat. So only the right leg is back. Aligning left knee over ankle. Ashwa Salanchasana, equestrian pose. Letting that left hip sink towards the mat. Gazing up towards the ceiling, lifting the chest, almost arching the back if you're able. Then plant both hands, flip the back toes, straighten the right leg, and then drive the left back to meet it. Bring feet together for a mountain variation of downward dog. Gaze up towards your hands, but drop only the knees down first. Then the elbows, then the chest and chin, and lift the elbows kind of up off the mat and tuck them by your sides. Toes are down, knees are down, chest and chin and hands are also down. Holding here, keeping that nice arch in the spine. And then slowly slide forward, come for baby cobra. Lift the chest. Still keep the arms tucked behind, try not to let them flop out to the sides. And then slowly use your triceps to press yourself up for a full cobra. Letting the hips be heavy and rest on the mat here to start. Also try to keep the shoulders down, so not sinking into them. Pressing the shoulders down away from the ears. Use your knees and hips if you'd like to come up again, back through. Mountain pose. Inhale, right leg reaches high. And as you exhale, drive that right leg between the hands. Left knee comes down to the earth, foot flips. Tented fingers, chest lifted, gaze high. And then flip the back toes, straighten the back leg, and take a big step up to meet the right into a half lift. Folding for a moment. And then slowly rise as you inhale, arms sweep high overhead. Exhale, hands together, and just straight back down into a fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, this time left leg steps back, drop the knee, sink into the hips, lift the chest. Press into the hands, straighten back leg. Right leg steps back to meet left, mountain pose. Lifting hips. Next exhale, drop knees. Then chest and chin. 8 limb salute, Ashtanga Namaskar. Slide forward with an inhale coming for cobra, or maybe upward dog where you lift the legs now up off the mat. Again, try to press out of the shoulders. And then with your next exhale, flip the toes, coming for mountain once more. Inhale to lift left leg and drive it forward with the exhale. Plant between hands, right knee drops, foot grounds. Last time here to let those hips sink towards the earth. And then inhale, lift the hips, straighten right leg, and take a big step towards the front. Feet match, meeting in a half lift and then a fold. Inhale, climbing all the way back up towards the stand. Arms reach high. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Take a moment here, grounding in once more. And then take a step out. I'm going to use my left leg, but use your right leg to come out to the long edge of your mat. Pretty much a wide stance here. And then point your left toes or your right toes towards the front. We're basically going to be mirroring each other. So I'll have my right foot pointed forward. If you'd like to do the same, that's fine too. And then slowly reach out in front. Trikonasana coming first. Again, hand can be somewhere on shin or maybe towards the mat. Once you're there, gaze up over left fingertips. Pressing into the side, opening that left thigh. And then draw your left hand behind your back and bend the front knee. Good. So your stance here, still pretty wide. And then if you need to walk those toes any more forward, so that the knee is directly under or over the ankle. That's great too. So the left hand's behind the back. You can gaze up towards the ceiling here. Maybe your right hand comes free and you can go behind and underneath and just take a bind here. Maybe you're still using that right hand for support. Or maybe you bring it out to the outside of the right knee. You come for an extended right side angle. Wherever you're at, slowly coming down with both hands, and then rotate the back foot. So now we're in a low lunge with the right foot outside of both hands. Keep the left leg lifted for now. Plant the left hand and then open with a twist going the other direction. Try not to let the right knee flop out to the side. Keep it tucked in towards the chest. Use your core. And then place right hand down on the mat. And start to lift the right leg up. And as you do, twist the left foot so it's on its side. Coming through side plank here. You can stack one foot in front of the other, maybe right foot on top of the left, or right foot lifts up and you hold and hover. Three more breaths here. 2, 1. And slowly bring right hand down. Keep the right leg lifted. Draw it towards your chest and then cross, continue opening and bring the right leg out to the side. Lower yourself down to your hips, keeping the arms planted where they're at. Lift the chest and then back up. Use your core on the left side to raise and lower. And just kind of lift up and down here a few times. And then lower down all the way. Plant both hands. Maybe you lift your hips once more and keep the right leg hovered, maybe holding and floating for just a moment, and then draw it back through and kick it high. We'll experiment today with some kind of leverage or some floating, so just follow along. The right leg is still lifted, right? And I'm going to use it to kind of pop up into the air. I'm going to kick my leg up, and my left leg, the grounding one, will be a little bit lighter. And as it starts to lighten, maybe I can find a little bit of float, but it's always right there to catch me. Take breaks as much as you need. You can also come down for child's pose as you move. We'll just try to float a little bit more. Again, grounding in with the hands is really important. And maybe you kick up all the way just for a moment, finding a handstand. You can tap the thigh with your left foot. Wherever you're at, take your time, and we'll all meet in child's pose for a brief rest. Drop the forehead down. Shimmy the hips. Really sink in here. Next breath, come up, inhale. Back through tabletop, and then move through dog just for a moment. Draw that right knee forward towards the wrist, and then bring the shin up to about 45 degrees. Set up for pigeon for a moment here. Give ourselves a bit more time to regulate. So try to align your hips so that they're neutral rather than coming all the way into one side. Just really breathe into this posture here. It's all about relaxing into it. About 5 more breaths. Slowly press arms up, come through a seated position, or I guess upright, and then shift your hips over and draw your leg out in front. So right foot is up against left thigh, and then we're going to do some forward fold. So inhale to reach the arms up. Maybe you catch an ankle or a toe or your shin. Inhale to lift chest, and then exhale to fold, coming forward and down. Inhale, bring chest back up. Exhale, sliding back towards your center point. And then roll over, coming through tabletop. Inhale, lift hips high. And we're back in downward dog. Take a moment to inhale, gaze up between hands, and then take a step or a jump to the front of the mat. And walk your hips kind of hip width apart. Lower down into Malasana just for a moment, shifting side to side. And then we'll experiment with crow. If you'd like, you can bring hands down to the mat and take a few moments here. We're going to play around, try to get ourselves lifted, one foot and then the other into our stable crow pose. Maybe you can use your core and straighten your arms all the way. Maybe you can raise one leg at a time while trying to talk. It's quite difficult. And then when you're ready, you can drop back down and step both legs back for a chaturanga. Or if you'd like to go, you can take crow and shoot legs back. Inhale for your up dog and exhale for your down dog. Slowly walk feet towards front. Half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to rise. Arms sweep high. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Take that big step out once more, going the other direction. So whichever way you pointed first, now point towards the other. And then point those toes outwards. Start to reach, and we'll tip down for Trikonasana. Good to align hips and shoulders once more. Really reach up. Try not to just collapse and fall into the posture. Try to move into it. Reaching towards the ceiling. And then that right hand is going to bind behind your back or your left hand. And bending that front knee, you can come with left hand down to the mat. Maybe it stays up on the knee, or maybe it comes out to the outside of the left foot. Another option is, again, you can bind by reaching underneath with that left arm. Open the shoulders and gaze up towards the ceiling. Slowly unwind. Left hand down first, inside the left foot, and then the right hand comes down to match. Roll the hips, center them forward, and then right hand's planted, left hand begins to float, and keep your left knee tucked towards the chest. Try not to let it flail out to the side. Once more. Left hand slowly comes down towards the mat. Planting firmly here. Lift the left leg into the air and then step it back. Keep it lifted or let it come down on top of the right foot for side plank. Again, lifting is always an option as well. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly plant the left hand. Drive left knee towards your chest, and then kick it out to the side. Start to lower your hips all the way down. Maybe you reach for that leg just for a moment. Feel the side stretch on your IT band. Try to keep shoulders square here, and then lifting up with the hips, the core, and lowering back down. Up to press, down to ground. And then hold just for a moment. Maybe you can lift the left leg up, hover it, and then bring it back. Step it through. Keep it high. And again, we're going to play around just for a moment. I'm going to rotate 180 so you can see me a little better. Keeping it lifted, and we're going to play around with those hops now with the other leg. So lifting up and just floating there. And the other leg is staying straight and close to the ground. So there's no really low risk here. Try to breathe in and engage your core as you lift up. Again, maybe the right leg can come up and tap just for a moment on that thigh. And then slowly, we'll all meet in child's pose. Just for a quick breath here. Inhale, come up through table, through dog, left knee towards left wrist, and drop into pigeon just for a brief moment here. We move through the up regulation, the down regulation, building the fire, letting it cool. It's all part of this practice. Allows us essentially to engage better with the ups and downs of life. Being present wherever we are, whatever stage of the cycle we're in. Slowly pressing arms up. And then come over to a seat and bring the opposite leg out in front. Just a quick fold here, so reaching up with the arms, forward and then down. With your next inhale, slowly rise. The arms and chest come back up. And then return towards the front of your mat. So place the arms down, rolling through for table. Straighten legs. Chaturanga, low plank. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. You can try again for crow by walking forward first, or if you're feeling ambitious, you can go for kind of an arm balance jump into crow. So I'm going to load my hips. First of all, you don't need to try this at all. Totally optional. But if you're feeling up for it and you feel like your crow is really dialed in, this could be a next step. So if you feel like you want to come here and come into your crow normally, it's the same thing, but you're starting from the back, from downward dog. So you load your hips, plant firmly with the arms, and jump forward and land into crow. It may take some time to readjust and get the balance right, but once you're there, you can get quite stable. And then you can move through that a few times, maybe just jumping forward and trying to catch and hold and hover. Take one more vinyasa whenever you're finished playing there. And then we'll all meet forward in a seat. So jump forward to the front of the mat. Take your time getting there. Legs come out in front. And we're not done yet. We'll do one more core exercise before we lay down. Everyone's favorite boat pose. So plant the hands, lift the legs, point toes, lift chest, reach arms out. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower legs down. Use the arms to press yourself up, over, back down. One more time. Straighten legs up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross legs, lift. Last time. 3 is the lucky number. Hold and hover. 3, 2, 1. Lower legs. Allow the upper body to slowly come down towards the mat. And we'll take bridge just for a quick moment. Lift the hips to kind of counter posture the core. Drive up towards the ceiling. Use your hands underneath your hips to hold support for the lower back. Continue to drive with the legs, the thighs. Lowering all the way down and draw knees up towards chest. Catch happy baby, the outsides of the feet with your hands. Shift softly side to side. One more big breath in through the nose. And exhale. Let it out. Let the legs come down. Let the arms fall by your side. Take some time here. Take rest. Stay in Shavasana as long as you can today. Slowly start to move fingers, toes, waking back up, wrists, ankles. And begin to maneuver yourself over towards one side, taking your time to get there. Putting out the fire, grounding your practice. And then together we'll all move up towards a seated position to come together and close. And Hands together, heart center. We'll take one more breath, all as one. Inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Closing with an Om if you'd like to join. Exhale first, inhale for sound. Peace, love, and blessings to you all, and I hope this was a good session today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.